Hello, everyone. It is Friday, April 26th, closing in on 11:55 p.m., and welcome into this late night video weather discussion update here. And this is going to be an update on the active weather pattern that we are in that did bring some rain and thunderstorm activity to a large portion of the state today on Friday. And we are still seeing some rain and thunderstorm activity across portions of the state tonight. And we're going to see several additional rounds of rain, thunderstorm potential, and even some severe weather potential coming up here as we move into Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday as well. And then there could be another storm system or two that moves in for mid to late this upcoming next week that could also bring some more activity to the state. But starting off here tonight with a wide view of the satellite image here tonight, and what we have going on is a lot. There's a lot going on. We have an area of low pressure up here that is moving northeastward up into Minnesota. It's eventually going to move on up into Canada. We do have a cold front, kind of cold front dry line feature that's extending from that low pressure kind of down like that. That's your cold front, and then there's a dry line that kind of extends down south from that. We did have a pretty significant tornado outbreak that occurred today up across the Nebraska and the Iowa area. You may have seen that all over the news and social media. Numerous significant tornadoes occurred today with that tornado outbreak up across Nebraska and the Iowa area today as well. And we are seeing the leftovers of that activity, leftover shower and thunderstorm activity tonight exists all across this corridor from Iowa, across parts of the state of Illinois, as I mentioned, down into Missouri, Arkansas as well. And I could actually show you a little bit better here what I'm talking about. So let's zoom in here on the regional radar to show you what we have going on tonight. And as you can see here, we do have some rain moving across parts of the Chicago area down in the eastern Illinois here late tonight as we approach the midnight hour here. Do have a couple of thunderstorms occurring down here as well across portions of central and southern Illinois tonight. Even a couple of thunderstorms have gotten going here across far northern Illinois late tonight as well. And as we move through the overnight hours tonight and into Saturday morning, we will see some scattered areas of showers and thunderstorms move across parts of the state of Illinois overnight tonight. So if you hear a little rain or a little thunder outside tonight, do not be surprised because we will continue to run the possibility of some rain and thunderstorms across the state tonight. However, the good news is we are no longer expecting any sort of severe weather across the state tonight. Previously, we were looking at an isolated severe weather risk from this afternoon, this evening, and now into tonight. However, we have not seen any severe weather across the state today, and we are no longer expecting any sort of isolated severe weather threat across the state tonight. So some good news there. No longer any sort of severe weather risk, as I mentioned, for tonight across the state. However, as we go forward into time, for your Saturday, for your Sunday, for your Monday, as I mentioned before, we are going to look at the likelihood for additional rounds of rain and thunderstorms to develop and then move across portions of the state. And we still could see some severe weather potential coming up here across portions of the state over the next couple of days. So taking a look here at one of the weather forecast models, this pretty much lines up with what I showed you on the current radar. We do have some areas of showers and thunderstorms moving across the state tonight, and some of that activity scattered about will continue through the overnight hours and into early Saturday morning as well. However, as we move deeper into Saturday morning here and into the middle of the day, you're going to see how things really clear out across much of the state. Maybe a couple of lingering showers, isolated thunderstorms Saturday morning across parts of southern Illinois, but you can see here as we move through the mid-late morning hours on Saturday into the middle of the day, it'll pretty much dry out across the state. Then, as we move into the afternoon hours, we could see a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms across central and southern Illinois. They don't look to be too big of a deal at this point in time, but if you are across central southern Illinois, there could be a couple of isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening hours on Saturday. We're also going to be watching a couple of things on Saturday. There's going to be a frontal boundary that's going to be draped across Michigan, Wisconsin, back into Ohio and Nebraska. There's going to be an area of low pressure developing out here across the plain states with a cold front and dry line. And what we're going to see happen here is we're going to be watching for the potential of maybe some shower, thunderstorm, and severe weather development along that frontal boundary across Iowa up into Wisconsin. And then there will be more widespread activity that develops ahead of that main storm system from Nebraska down through Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas as well. And what will end up happening is this activity that develops out across perhaps northwestern Illinois back into Iowa, northern Missouri, this activity will eventually move off towards the northeast across parts of northern and central Illinois. And then this activity that develops in the plains will also eventually move off towards the northeast as well. So a lot we're going to be watching for on Saturday. So as we move into Saturday evening here, you can see this activity that does develop in the vicinity of that frontal boundary from Iowa up into Wisconsin. Some of it does look quite vigorous on this particular model, and you can see it starting to move east-northeastward into parts of the Quad Cities area, western Illinois by the evening hours. You'll also notice this activity that got going across Kansas and down off the screen down into Oklahoma and Texas also starts to move northeastward during the evening hours on Saturday. Moving into early Saturday night here, you can see that activity from Iowa scoots up across portions of northern Illinois. The activity from Kansas down into Oklahoma and Texas starts to move northeastward through Missouri here. And moving into the overnight hours here, Saturday night and eventually in the Sunday morning, you can see how all of this activity continues to funnel northeastward here across portions of northern and central Illinois. So if you are northern central Illinois here, expect, as it looks right now, you should expect a fairly stormy evening and especially overnight period for Saturday evening, Saturday night, and into early Sunday morning. Some of this activity could be severe on an isolated to widely scattered basis across parts of northern and central Illinois. And even as we work into Sunday morning here, Sunday morning we could have some lingering showers and isolated thunderstorms here across portions of the state for Sunday morning. And then as we move into the middle of the day on Sunday, things try to clear out a little bit. But we're still going to be dealing with maybe a couple of rain showers, a lot of cloudiness in place as well. And during the day on Sunday, that storm system really starts to lift up here through the region with a frontal boundary that's going to be sweeping east here. And we could see a new round of showers and thunderstorms and severe weather develop out here across perhaps portions of Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and eventually that activity in a weakening fashion would then eventually move into the state of Illinois later afternoon Sunday, Sunday evening into overnight Sunday night, and even into Monday morning as well. So with that said here, let's take a look at our severe weather forecasts here for the next couple of days. So on the screen right now is our updated severe thunderstorm forecast. This is going to be, this one right here, this is for Saturday into Saturday night. As you can see here, we are going to be dealing with a severe weather risk, as I mentioned before, up here across northern, down in the west central Illinois here. So this whole corridor here is all outlooked for severe weather risk as we head. Generally, this is going to be Saturday afternoon into overnight Saturday night. You can see a level 1 risk in this blue shaded color across northeastern down into parts of central Illinois. That's where you could see isolated severe weather risk. And then across this green shaded area out across western and northwestern Illinois, that's where we could be dealing with the chance of widely scattered severe thunderstorms, so slightly higher coverage being possible. Now, in terms of threats across this region, damaging winds and hail would be the main threats with any severe thunderstorm activity that does occur, but also wouldn't rule out maybe an isolated tornado threat out here across this corridor as well. That's something we're going to be watching for as well. Once again, this forecast for Saturday and into Saturday night. Now, as we move into Sunday, things are going to shift a little bit further to the east and across a much larger portion of the state here. So going into Sunday and Sunday night, you could see we have much of the state outlooked in a level 1 risk. So much of the state, we will be seeing the opportunity for an isolated severe thunderstorm risk here. Main threats, if any severe thunderstorms do occur during that time, Sunday into Sunday night, would be damaging winds, hail, maybe an isolated tornado threat as well. And then as we head into Monday, we don't have our Monday forecast out just yet, but for Monday, the corridor we're going to be watching for is going to be down across southern Illinois. So that'll be for Monday down across southern Illinois. Like I said, we don't have our Monday forecast out just yet, but we are going to be issuing that as we move into tomorrow. Usually we issue our forecasts 48 hours or 2 days in advance of the activity that we're expecting. So we'll have that forecast for Monday out later tomorrow, or should I say today now, because we're after midnight. So later today on Saturday. But once again, the Monday risk would be down there across southern portions of the state of Illinois. So with that said here, it looks like the comments on the live stream do not appear to be working correctly, because I'm not seeing much in the way of anything showing up on my end here. Let me see if I could get that fixed really quickly here. Just bear with me for one moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them working or not. Do see a couple comments and questions here. Maura checking in from the Freeport area. No severe weather expected for tonight, but you are going to be looking at a severe weather risk for Saturday into Saturday night up across your area. Let's see here. Also see northwestern Illinois. Jalal checking in from up there. It does look like you're going to get some rain and thunderstorm activity up there. Obviously, you are also in a severe weather risk, as you can see on our forecast graphic as well. We'll see exactly, what the placement ends up being of some of this thunderstorm activity for Saturday into Saturday night. But like I said, the main risk up here across northern and west central Illinois. Do see some questions here regarding rainfall, so let's touch on that now, because we are seeing some rainfall across the state in the coming days. So let me pull that up here on the screen. Just give me one quick moment. All right, so regarding rainfall here, this is the expected rainfall off of the European model. This is pretty much from this afternoon, so some of this already fell a little bit in some areas. This is through Monday afternoon here. So as you can see, when all is said and done, between now all the way through Monday afternoon here, you could see we're going to be dealing with anywhere as low as a half an inch all the way up to maybe 2.5 inches of rain total over the next couple of days. So this isn't all going to fall at once. This isn't all going to be tomorrow. It's not all going to be Sunday. This is going to be spread out over a couple days here, pretty much from now all the way through Monday afternoon. But all in all, between a half an inch all the way up to maybe 2.5 inches of rain will be possible here across portions of the state as we go through time here. All right, here, carrying on. See Jeff checking in tonight. How's it going? Yeah, those tornadoes were crazy out in the Nebraska area today. Adam was actually out chasing in Nebraska and Iowa today, and he saw, I think his count was he saw at least 7 tornadoes today, I believe is what he said. He saw some very large, strong, violent wedge tornadoes out across Nebraska and Iowa today, as did many, many, many other storm chasers today. It was quite a tornado outbreak across Iowa and Nebraska on Friday. Margot checking in. No, it does not look like any sort of significant tornado potential across Illinois over the next couple of days. Never want to rule out isolated tornado potential, but no significant tornado potential over the next couple of days anywhere across the state of Illinois. All right, with that said here, let's switch back over to our forecast here just to do a quick summary of things here. But once again, the next couple of days is going to be fairly active across the state of Illinois. We did obviously see some rain and thunderstorms during the day on Friday, and now continuing into tonight across portions of the state. And we're going to continue to see the threat for rain, thunderstorms, and even some severe weather chances as we move into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. So on the screen right now is our updated severe weather forecast for Saturday. And as you can see here, we do have areas across northern and west central Illinois outlooked for a severe weather threat on Saturday. If you are in this blue shaded color across northeastern down into parts of central Illinois, that is a level 1 severe thunderstorm risk. That means you could see an isolated severe thunderstorm potential. Out here across northwestern down in the western Illinois, that is where you could see slightly higher coverage, more on the order of widely scattered severe thunderstorm potential out across that green shaded color. Now, in terms of threats, damaging winds and hail will be the greatest threats with any severe thunderstorm activity that may occur on Saturday and Saturday night, but also wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado threat either, generally out here across that western and northwestern Illinois corridor for Saturday and into Saturday night. Then, as we head into Sunday, the severe weather threat expands a little bit more so across the state of Illinois. As you can see here, we have a large chunk of the state in this blue shaded color for Sunday and into Sunday night. That is a level 1 severe thunderstorm risk. That essentially means we could be looking at a risk for isolated severe thunderstorms across a large portion of the state for Sunday and into Sunday night. And then for Monday, we don't have our forecast issued just yet, but for Monday, we could be looking at an isolated severe weather risk down across the southern portion of the state. That would be for Monday. So rain, thunderstorm potential, severe thunderstorm potential here coming up over the next couple of days. That's going to be the main story here. But for right now, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We will be back on later this morning, I guess I could say now. Later this morning, which is going to be Saturday morning, we'll be back on with another full update regarding the rain, thunderstorm, severe weather, very active weather pattern that we are in over the next couple of days. But until that next update, everyone enjoy the remainder of your night.